Hindu newspaper. Okay. Good. 2 people from West Bengal. Hindu newspaper. Anyone else? What do you refer? Okay. Chalo, good. So how many of you are comfortable with reading newspaper, the Hindu Analysis and Visions monthly magazine? Okay, Yatish. Updated news from current of internet. But from where? From internet. Do you Google it on and just read whatever is there? Or there is any organized preparation, Anu? The Indian Express. Suman, the Indian Express. Okay. So good that you all are updated and you all have your own medium, your own way of covering the current affairs. We will see today that how it has to be covered. And since I'm assuming that you all are following, somebody is following from internet, somebody is following from the Hindu Analysis, Indian Express, newspaper, PIB, and newspaper. Good. I refer newspaper, I refer Hindu. Good. So let's have a quick quiz time in order to understand whether you are really in touch with the current affairs or not. So if you are in touch with the current affairs, then you should be knowing all these aspects. Are you all ready? Shall we start our quiz time without wasting time? Okay, so here is the first quiz for you. Do you know about this lumpy skin disease? How many of you know about lumpy skin disease? Use the, okay, very good. Shivani, you are here also. So Shivani is one of my students. If you are the same Shivani. Okay, good morning, Shivani. So lumpy skin disease, what is it? Anyone else other than my old students who have joined the session again? An infectious viral disease of cattle which often occurs in epizootic form. Okay, great. It is a viral disease in cattle, Shivani. Okay, Shivani, no questions, no answers from you. Okay, chalo. So you must have come across this news, lumpy skin disease. It was in news like this, and this was there in news that what is lumpy skin disease? The viral infection killing cattle in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So even if you have come across this news that it is killing cattle, and especially in Gujarat and Rajasthan, then if this question is coming in prelims, you can mark it that it is a disease related to cattle. Okay, it is a viral disease. So we know two information we have, that it is a viral disease, it is killing cattle. But is it killing goats? Is it killing sheep? Is it killing any other animals? That also we should know. So till now, it is killing only cattle, cows, buffalo, water buffalo. It has been found that it is killing there. Is it endemic to India or not? Anyone? Is it endemic to India? So whenever UPSC frames question for prelims, related to prelims, they will give 4 or 5 statements. Maybe we will know that it is killing cattle and it is a disease which is viral and in Gujarat and Rajasthan. The question can be framed in such a manner that this lumpy skin disease is widespread in India. So we cannot say that it is a widespread because we have found it only in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So it is not widespread. So you have to be very cautious. We have to be very alert whenever we are reading the questions which has been framed on the news and information which is there in the current affairs. So lumpy skin disease is a viral infection, true. It is not widespread in India. Second, it is not endemic to India. This is basically endemic to Africa and it has came through Pakistan, via Pakistan. Okay, this information. Now, most of you know that it is a viral disease, but which virus is responsible for it? Anyone? See, until unless we don't know specific things from the current affairs, just knowing broadly will not help. So that is what I'm trying to demonstrate, that whenever you are referring any current affairs, any aspect, be it for prelims or be it for mains, you should know thoroughly that what kind of question can be asked either in prelims or how can I use the information from the current affairs for our mains preparation. for our mains answer writing. So this is what today we are going to do. We are just going to take the piece, news articles, information, and I will empower you that how to think and how to use that information. I'm still waiting for your responses. That do you know that which virus is responsible for this lumpy skin disease? No one? So there is a virus called Capripox virus. So Capripox virus is responsible for this infection. Okay, and is it a zoonotic disease? Yes or no? The statement will have this option also, that is it a zoonotic disease? Yes or no? What will happen? It is transmitted by blood feeding insects, that is vector. Vector is responsible for that. Very good. But it is not a zoonotic disease, means that it doesn't spread from animals to humans, and humans cannot get infected with it. So this is how you should cover. One piece of information, just this much is given. We should know whether what is the is it virus caused, bacteria caused, protozoa caused. So what is the source? It is a viral disease. Vectors are responsible for that. Blood feeding insects are responsible for spreading it. It is not widespread in India, in Gujarat and Rajasthan. It is endemic to Africa. The virus which is responsible for this is known as Capripox virus. It is not a zoonotic disease, means it will not spread from animals to humans. So 5 information related to this, then you are thorough. So whatever statement is coming in the exam, at least you will be well prepared for that, and accordingly you will be cautious. Accordingly you will choose your options. Are you understanding that how shall we cover? Are we good till here? My dear students, friends, are we good till here? Okay, next. So did you get this art of understanding that how you should cover any particular news? Okay, Anu, Shivani, Yatish, Deepak, very good. So are you understanding that if you are getting any information, this is from news only, but the next step, the next way forward is that you have to cover it holistically. And don't stop here only. Just to remember it better, you should also search something on internet at how this disease looks like. So the disease looks like this. There will be lumps all over the body. So the animal, the cattle will have lumps, nodes all over the body, which will be caused because of this disease. Now this information has been fed and you have prepared it properly for your lifetime, not only for UPSC. So if you make this whole learning process interesting, and if you are enjoying, then it will be there with you. It will stay for long. And if you're just worried about the compilations and you are reading it and you don't know this information and you are not able to relate it, then you will never be able to remember it. Chalo, next quiz for you. Okay, how many of you know about life? Anyone? What is life? L-I-F-E, life. It is related to, okay, let me give you a hint. Our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji is responsible for this. He is the man behind this. Second clue, it is something related to environment. Okay, third clue, ab to bata do. Anyone? No one? It is something related to, okay, you don't have to Google it. Time span of organisms? No, it is related to environment. Pawan, I am only giving you the hint. It is related to environment. I am giving the hint. Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji is responsible behind it. Is responsible for it. Is man behind it. Okay, third clue. It is something related to Glasgow Summit. COP26 of UNFCCC Glasgow Summit. It was announced there. It was introduced there. Shivani, no, you cannot reply. Chalo, acha reply kar do. Let others also read. Okay, fourth clue. It is related to behavioral aspects. Okay, now let me summarize all the clues. Basically, this is life. LI means lifestyle for environment. So this was announced by Honorable Prime Minister. Yes, Shivani, lifestyle for environment. It was announced by Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji on World Environment Day, and it was introduced. It was introduced by Prime Minister during the 26th UNFCCC Summit COP Conference of Parties at Glasgow last year. So basically, what he wants through this, he is trying to nudge people for the behaviors so that their lifestyle is friendly for the environment. Means a lifestyle which will promote environmental consciousness within individual, and so that we are mindful and we are deliberately utilizing the resources, and our ecological footprint we are reducing. So basically it is about bringing positive change in the environment by collective action, where every individual is responsible, where every individual is mindful of their actions, of their footprint. My action, what I'm doing, how much water I'm using, how much CO2 I am releasing, what is my plastic footprint, am I using it, throwing it, am I responsibly going for a tourism, ecotourism. So lifestyle for environment, it is a kind of behavioral nudging so that we are mindful of our action, and thus it aims to persuade people across the world to take simple climate friendly actions, to adopt climate friendly action. And thus it is envisaging a network of individuals who are pro planet people, triple P, that is pro planet people. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है कुछ? Okay, so what we will do here, again the concept of the circular economy will come, where we are using the cycles, using the products, we are sharing it, we are leasing it out, we are reusing it, repairing it, recycling it. So basically we will be mindful of our actions. We will not just use and throw. Okay, so agar exam mein aata, life is related to what? Radiocarbon dating. It is related to lifestyle for environment. It is related to lifestyle disease, non-communicable disease. We will get confused very easily, because the questions which are framed by UPSC, the options will be so closely framed that we will be clueless. At that time, within the examination hall, at hot seat, when you are sitting, you will feel like that every option can be marked. Every option is very close. And yes, this is also good. This is also good. This is also good. Yeah, I can mark this also. Until unless you have read it, you will mark it wrong only. And how this is happening? This is happening on daily basis. And trust me, these questions, this information is not from July, not from January, not from March. This is just from 3rd August, 4th August, 5th August. From the newspapers of 3rd August, 4th August, and 5th August. Just from the newspaper of 3 days, I have collected all the information, and that is what we are discussing. So the idea is that I want to reiterate the importance of newspaper over materials, freely available materials in the market, and how important it is to read it consistently on daily basis. Next quiz for you. Do you know about Mineral Security Partnership? Sustainable lifestyle? Yes. Anu, immune function enhancement. Yeah, it can be one of the option, and we will get confused. Very good, Anu. Closed option. Come on, everyone. What is Mineral Security Partnership? Okay, so we have a lot of people. Ankur is there, Anita is there, Anushka, Biswajit, Chaitanya. So many people are there. Chaitanya, are you the same Chaitanya? My student who has attended the workshop previously also? Or you are different Chaitanya? Utkarsh, Suman, Shrinu, Shabnam, Roshni. Hello, everyone. Mausami. Good to see you all. Okay, let me see if somebody has replied it or not. Okay, Chaitanya, so you are different. No problem. Welcome. Now, please tell me about Mineral Security Partnership. It could be related to what? And is it at national level? Is it at international level? Is India a part of it or not? Is it India-led or not? What is the purpose of this Mineral Security Partnership? So those who are following the Hindu, Those who are following the compilations, have you not come across it? Roshni, international level. Okay, okay, Varsha. Rare earth elements, very good. Roshni, so it is related to India is not part of it, very good. Yes, so it is part of a global China plus strategy where the countries have come up together in order to tackle the supply chain disruption which has happened after the COVID pandemic. And it is related to the security of the rare earth minerals like cobalt, nickel, lithium, which are required for the batteries in electronic sector, electrical vehicles, semiconductors. So rare earth minerals are very important. And post-pandemic, and for that, first of all, we should know that rare earth elements, China is the highest producer. So if such pandemic situations are coming ever again, then how to boycott China, how to bypass China? It is a US-led initiative where approx 11 countries are there. European Union is there, Japan is there, France is there, Germany is there, Sweden is there. ठीक है, सारे countries के नाम याद रखने is not important. You should know that it is a US-led initiative. It is to counter China's dominance in rare earth elements, and India is not part of it. India is trying to become a member of it. India is trying that, okay, persuading other countries that, okay, we should be also part of it. And it is to ensure the supply chain of the minerals like cobalt, nickel, lithium, and also the 17 rare earth elements. Okay? And whenever it comes to rare earth elements, we should also know their application uses in which industry. So they are very important for electrical vehicles. They are important for batteries, mobile batteries, electronic devices. They are very important for semiconductors. जब importance पता रहेगी, then we can use that information accordingly. Chips, yeah, semiconductor chips, other chips, ICs. Okay, Deepak. Yes, they exclude India. Good. Next. How many of you know about this one? MICA. I hope this is visible. Yellow background, is it visible or not? So if it is not visible, let me read it out for you. MICA, Mica, whatever you call. So is it something related to Koderma? What is Koderma? Mica, capital of India. Where is Koderma? Jharkhand. Mica, largest producer of mica. Who is largest producer of mica in India? Which state? Okay, next question, prelims. I'm telling you how you should train your mind. How should you think? Is it something related to insulators, the iron box? Very good, Shivani. So it is Andhra Pradesh. Andhra, mica, yes. Once upon a time, Koderma was known as the mica capital of the country, that is in Jharkhand, but now Andhra Pradesh is the capital. Yes, Lakshman Rao and Deepak. So please tell me, mica, it is related to, it is European Union's officially finally agreed provision related to regulation of cryptocurrencies. The full form is Market in Crypto Assets Network Framework. Market in Crypto Assets Framework, which will be most substantial piece of crypto regulation when it will come into effect. So everybody is talking about cryptocurrencies. We all are talking about its regulation, its impact on the economy, society. Question UPSC has asked in mains, what is the impact of cryptocurrencies in economy and society? Like RBI in India for currency, mica is used for as bank for crypto. Yes, used as a bank for crypto. So markets in crypto assets framework is there for regulation of it. Chalo, good. It means you all are reading. What about this? Have you come across this news? Al-Naza 4. Al-Naza 4. Yes, because of prices of crypto, it's fluctuating. Al-Naza 4. Anyone? Military exercise. Very good. Between which two countries? So it is a joint military exercise. Good till here. But it is a exercise between navies, Indian Navy and any other navy, India and Oman. Okay. So is it exercise between Army, Air Force, Navy? It is related to what? Okay, Roshni, India, Oman. So it is the exercise, joint military exercise, Al-Naza, between the Indian Army and the Royal Army of Oman. So the objective is the information which we have collected from environment, from economy related to resources, science, military exercises, defense, and the previous one related to health. So like this, we have to be ready for information which we are getting across the newspaper for related to any subject. It can be related to environment, it can be related to anything. So we have to keep our eyes open in order to extract the information, and we should also note that what kind of information we are collecting. Is it just whatever is mentioned in the newspaper that we are collecting, or we are collecting something extra? So always take one step ahead and cover it 360 cover the 360-degree view or 360-degree aspect of any particular news. Then only you are getting ready for the exam. If you're just collecting it, you are not getting ready for the exam, because we have to revise it. So my dear friends, this is about the importance of news, importance of current affairs for us. And with this, we should know this. With this, we should understand that why current affairs is important. So current affairs plays very important role whenever we are talking about the prelims or mains, anything. So nearly 80% questions, they are from current affairs, be it prelims or be it mains. How many of you have appeared the recently held prelims? So there you would have come across one question on related to IMF. And the question was, rapid financing instrument is by which of the following institution? Right, Roshni? Yes. So rapid financing instrument, it was in news or it was from a static portion? So by looking at that question, most of us felt like, yaar, kitne current affairs, kitne sare institutions ko padhna hai. This is from a static. I have not read it in my books. Static, Deepak. Okay. Others? So most of us, when as soon as we look at the question, we will feel IMF, static. I have not read it in detail. My God, UPSC is unpredictable. We should read in detail. How can we prepare on so many institutions? But my dear students, this was not IMF, the rapid financing instrument, which I am telling, it was not from the static portion. It was asked by UPSC because it was in news. Yes, it was in news because of the Sri Lankan crisis. Yes, these were the arrangements done by IMF for particular countries. So basically it was in news because of the Sri Lankan crisis. But when we look at the question, it looks like that it is from static. Sri Lankan crisis was in news. Do you all agree? Have you all followed? So it was related to that. Okay. Alert rehna padta hai. Recently, the elections related to our in India, president office, vice president office, elections have been held. If any question is asked, so what kind of question UPSC is asking? If when we are saying 80% of the question, so questions are directly and indirectly both. Directly, whatever information is there in news, the question is being framed on those information like life, like lumpy skin disease. Related to president, if the question is framed on the constitutional provisions and articles and the method of the election, then you will say that, sir, ye to current se hai nahi, ye to static se hai. But current affairs provide a base, provide anchor to UPSC, and they frame question around those informations which were in news from static portion. So this is how you should prepare. Are you getting? Are you understanding? So this is why current affairs is important. You take GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, even your optional essay, everywhere current affair is playing very important role. How many of you have written mains before? If you have written mains, then, or even if you have seen the question paper of the previous years, you will realize that current affairs is playing very dominant role in GS1, 2, 3, and even in 4. In 2020, there was a question in GS4 related to National Education Policy 2020. In GS3, there was a question on draft EIA bill. So we have to be thorough with. the current affairs. Whenever we talk about newspapers, very important role will be played by the newspaper, that they provide the information related to value addition. And in further in the class, we will see that how to take value addition material from the current affairs from the newspaper so that we can enrich our answers for mains perspective. Whenever we talk about value addition, then we are talking about mains perspective for our writing our answers. So how many of you have struggled with answer writing and you have realized that I'm not having this data, I'm not having examples, I'm not having case studies sufficient enough to substantiate my point in the answers? Anyone? Answer writing, I'm not talking about mains diya hai ya nahi diya hai. I'm just talking about, have you ever attempted answer writing and have you faced this problem? Come on, let this session be very interactive so that I will also get to know about you, you will also get to know about me. Otherwise एक तरफ से पढ़ाना काफी boring हो जाता है, right? Acha, since a lot of people are from Andhra, Telangana and Tamil Nadu, so I will not use at all any Hindi word so that it will be convenient for all of you. Yeah, so Roshni and Chaitanya are saying, yes, it becomes difficult. So whenever we talk about value addition, most of us read editorial in the newspaper. But that is the problem. We ignore the pages before editorial page and after the editorial page. And those pages, those pages have the examples and case studies which are important for us. So they are the repository of examples and case studies. Even editorial also, if we talk about, most of us, we do the editorial portion from YouTube or we will read it through compilation. But you would have come across the feedback on your answers if you have joined any test series, or if you are writing any question on daily basis and if you're showing it to your mentors or test series, then you would have come across this feedback that your answers lack depth, they lack dimensions, they lack analysis, there is no originality. So how will it come? The originality, depth, dimensions, examples, it will come when you are updated, you are thorough with the current affairs. Next, we also get this feedback of uniqueness in our answers. So newspaper is a must to do, is one of the must thing to do in your preparation in order to bring uniqueness in your answers. Because everyone reads the same compilation, same format, same information, and they ignore the newspaper. Then how the uniqueness will come? If I'm reading the newspaper from my region, from my state, at international level, at national level, I will use my mind in such a way where I am extracting information and using that information to think that how I can use it in my answers. There I am bringing my thinking. There I am bringing my originality. Thus, my uniqueness will come into picture. If I'm just following the compilations and YouTube analysis, then I'm not understanding the aspects that in what context news was there. So what happens that this uniqueness will happen when we are reading the newspaper daily. And what is the importance of uniqueness? Some of you will be also puzzled कि सर क्या करना है uniqueness का? General लिखते हैं, सब में 10 में 4 नंबर पाते हैं. Okay, out of 10 we will get 4. That is sufficient. There is no need to get extra marks. Develop my mindset by reading news and extract information by reading between the lines. Yes, Deepak, that is the importance. And if you are reading compilations, this will not happen because compilation have compiled the related informations at one place, but you don't know the context. You don't know the context. You don't know what has happened in March, what has happened in May, June, July. Even if you don't remember the months, that is not important. But when you read the things gradually, then only you will be remember it, and then only you will be able to apply your mind. You will be able to develop your perspective. Okay? Okay, so uniqueness is, answers are important. You know why? Because most of the time all of us, when we start our preparation, we will stuck in this range of mains I'm talking about. Out of 10, we are getting 4. Out of 10, we are getting 4.5. But we are not able to touch 5 marks out of 10. We are not able to get 5.5 or 6 out of 10. Because to get 5.5, to get 6 marks out of 10 marks I'm only discussing for now. we have to put our extra effort of analysis, of dimensions, of presentation, of examples and case studies, of current relevance. Now just imagine 0.5 marks, every question in a paper, in one paper, will be equivalent to 10 marks. GS1, 10 marks, GS2, 20 marks, GS3, 30, GS4, 40, your optional 60, essay 10 marks. Let's say 10 marks only. 70 to 80 marks just by this incremental improvement of 0.5 marks, it is increasing your overall marks by 70 to 80. That is sufficient enough to keep you out from the list and to bring you in top 50 or top 100. Okay, see, whenever we are talking about this uniqueness, it is not for those who are aspiring or aiming to just get their name into the list. Here we are talking about 2-digit rank or within 100, single-digit rank or double-digit rank. We are talking about excellence. We are talking about improving. Okay, so no shortcut will help you because that requires hard work. These two require hard work. They require your discipline. No shortcut will help. Your consistency will help. No compilation is a solution. Okay. How many of you have come across this syndrome? कुछ नहीं आया, कुछ आया ही नहीं syndrome. I read this compilation, I read that compilation, I followed that news from YouTube, I followed this channel from YouTube, but nothing came. How many of you have come across this syndrome after giving the question paper, be it prelims or be it mains? We read so much in the compilation, but nothing came, be it mains or be it prelims. I want your feedback. It happens because most of us do not read it directly from the newspaper. So in order to avoid this, you need to do what? You need to be thoroughly prepared. Anyone, have you felt this? No one has felt? If no one has felt, that's good, really good. Okay. So you guys will not reply. No problem. So the idea is, in order to avoid this problem and in order to do this, we need to follow the current affairs properly. We need to fully prepare ourselves. We need to have it because sometimes questions will be there in UPSC, which we also consider as bouncer question. And we assume that UPSC has given it out of the blue. My dear students, nothing is out of blue. Nothing is out of box. Everything is there, has been asked from the syllabus itself. So if things are there from the syllabus, it is there in news, somehow we have missed it. So let's acknowledge it. We can also miss. Sometimes we also miss because most of the time we are focusing on compilations and we will say that UPSC is unpredictable. No. So for current affairs, be thoroughly prepared, be fully prepared so that in the examination hall, no question will be surprise for you. So what we are doing, we are just reiterating the importance of the current affairs. Now, if this is the importance of the current affairs, then how shall we prepare it? We shall prepare it this way. Whenever you are sitting with the newspaper, most of you would be struggling that how to cover it. On daily basis, you don't know whether this news is important or not, what to do for how to extract the information from the current affairs. So that is only possible if you are thorough with the syllabus. If you understand the syllabus properly, be it of GS1, 2, 3, 4, your optional, mains I'm talking about, and prelims, you should know broadly the subjects where this information you can fit in. If you are thorough with the syllabus, if you are not thorough, read it twice daily till the time it is there in your mind and it is there on your fingertips. Till that time, you should know the syllabus in and out. And once you are thorough with it, whenever you are reading the questions, whenever you're reading the information in the newspaper, your syllabus point should pop up. Okay, it is related to EIA, it is related to NGO, it is related to civil society, it is related to attitude, it is related to values. Are you understanding? If you are thorough with the syllabus, you will be immediately able to develop a link with the newspaper and the whatever things are there in the newspaper. Okay, then only you will be able to develop the context, that in what context you should read. Then you will not read it randomly. Okay, So today we will see from 3 days newspaper only how we have developed we have extracted information for the different parts of the syllabus. Then you will get further clarity. Next. Now you know the syllabus, then you read the newspaper. Whenever you are reading the newspaper, here we are saying you should actually read it. Again, I mean actually read it, that don't read the compilations. You see the newspaper, in a starting it is going to take time. In a starting, when I started reading newspaper few years back for my preparations, then since morning 10 o'clock till evening 5 p.m. I was just trying to make out sense that which news is important and which is not. Trust me, I even read the obituary section that अच्छा इससे भी कुछ UPSC पूछ सकती है. So the idea is, till that time I was not familiar with the syllabus. The day I became familiar, I was clear cut. Okay, this news is important, this is not important. So read the newspaper thoroughly. In a starting, it will take time, but over a period of time, you should read 2 newspapers within 2.5 hours. Some of my students, they come and they say, sir, I cover Hindu daily and I read the Hindu for 2 hours and I will be thorough. Okay, so we'll come to that, Yatish. We will come to that. Yes, compilation save time. Everything is consolidated under topics for particular month. Yes, it is. But when it comes to mains preparation, you will be not able to develop that link. I will show it how. Sometimes the newspaper, whatever you or me will find it useful, compilations will not have that news. Compilations most of the time are only covering what is there in the editorial section. Not every news is covered. Again, what is the problem, Yatish? That when somebody is preparing any current affairs, they are preparing from their perspective that, okay, ye wala news acha hai, or they will cover editorials of different newspapers, but they miss the components, they miss those articles where you can actually make out sense from those newspapers. And that will happen only when you have written answers. Then you will realize. Okay, so we will see live demonstration today that how those the news which we are reading on our own, how we can make sense out from there, which on prima facie will look like that this news is not important at all. ठीक है? So देखते हैं आज इसको. After reading the newspaper, what we have to do? We have to make and organize our notes in such a manner where we can retain it, replicate it, and reproduce it, recollect it, and reproduce it in the examination hall. So simply collecting information from newspaper doesn't mean that you are just copy pasting each and everything. You understand the topic and then you read the information in such a manner where you know that how to use it. So reading and making note of it is retention. It is about recollection and then accordingly reproducing it in your answers whenever it is required, so that we'll see that how it has to be organized, how notes making has to be done. It is on one of the agenda of this workshop. I will tell you how to do that. When your notes are ready, multiple revision, you will be thorough that what is there in your newspaper, you will be thorough and you will be in a position to understand that how to use it, where to use it, and keep revising it. But only revision and only collection will not help. Next step is that we have to practice question. So there is one component in workshop. It is a 2 days workshop, today and tomorrow. So there is one more component of live answer writing. I'm sure that tomorrow, most of you, almost 50% of you will be not attending the session because of one feature that is there in this workshop, that is live answer writing. You will feel that, how can I write the answer? I have never written answers in my life. So to overcome that fear, do attend the session. You will get to know that how to write answers, and even after reading, writing answer becomes very difficult. But hota hai, because of fear, we will lack courage and we will never attempt answer writing. So let's do it. That is one of the purpose that I'm making you write live answers live in the class. So we'll do that. So practicing question is important, be it MCQ, be it your mains practice. It is important because when we read an information and we apply it, then only we will be able to understand the relevance of that information from exam point of view. Simply reading will not help. Simply reading will not be, we will be not able to develop the holistic perspective. So on daily basis, on our YouTube channel, Arete Academy, we are coming up with daily issue analysis. There you will get to know that only one piece of information was there in news and how we have covered it holistically. That is how you should prepare. Even though we have covered holistically, when you will go and sit and write the information, many of my students keep telling me, hey sir, iske baad bhi jo hai, hum likh nahi paye. Itni information thi, we were not able to manage time, we were not able to recall. Okay, so those problems will be there. Tomorrow is working day, sir, so I can't attend tomorrow's session. You will be able to see this session in the recorded mode. You can go through that. Okay, Varsha, so you can go through the class in the you can watch it in the recorded video. Okay, are we good till here? That what is the importance of the current affairs and how to cover it? Now let's quickly go through the aspects that what are the important topics which we will discuss from the 3 days newspaper of, that is of 3rd August, 4th August, 5th August 2022. Now you will realize that how only 3 days have given us so much of information and which you have been able to collect on your own over any other ready-made compilations. Now let's have a look. China and Taiwan issue was there. I am sure that you would have come across this. So this will give you an idea that how reading newspaper is important on daily basis rather than reading it on weekly or monthly basis. This will reiterate, we'll see how. China and Taiwan issue. US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan. It is a very significant visit. It is one of the high-level political visit from USA to Taiwan in last 25 years. So in this context, this is only news. So the news was something like this. China targets Taiwan with military economic measures after Pelosi visit. One visit and so much of problems. Why? So we should know about one China policy. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to tell you that if this is in news, then how you should cover that news. So I'm empowering you with that thought process that how you should cover this. Only one news is there that, okay, China and Taiwan, some issue is going on because of the visit of the US House Speaker. But whenever you are covering this, you should know about one China policy. You should know that what is this one China principle? What is this one country, two system? China did not like this, and China is saying that it is one of the major political provocation. Why? And now China has started counter military measures, military countermeasures they have started. Why? What is the issue with Taiwan? Not only that, you should know that fifth dimension, you should know what will be the impact of China's military counter measures in the region. China's aggressiveness, what would be the problems on the regional players? Then you bring a sixth dimension, you bring India into the perspective. That what will be the impact of all these things on India? How India will balance USA? How India will balance China? Will it be not difficult for us? The balancing, sixth dimension. Seventh dimension, you should also know about Taiwan. Taiwan is leading producer of semiconductor chips. And any war will have impact on this industry. Even our interest will be affected. So what shall we do now? Right? So these 7 dimensions, if you are covering because of this issue which is in news, then you are preparing it in holistic manner, and then you are understanding it in a complete way. Okay? Then only it will make sense to you. Otherwise, it will not make sense. You have just read it, you will also feel bad. Arey, batao, US House Speaker has gone. China is like this only. They are always aggressive. USA, what is the need? Why out of blue they have sent US House Speaker to Taiwan? Don't be bothered about that. You prepare its repercussions, impact on India, what India should do. You prepare that Taiwan's and its impact. like Russia and Ukraine war, it has its impact on semiconductor industry, electronic goods. What is the problem? So you think from that point of view and you prepare your points for analysis. So this is one topic and this is how you should cover. Next, issue of freebies. I hope you would have come across this news, issue of freebies. Supreme Court calls for a panel to look into the freebies issues. This was a news from 3rd August, given it was there in the Hindu. So our Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramanna, he said that freebies are irrational and their distribution must have guidelines. This is his observation, and that's why he is calling, he advises that there should be a panel to look into the freebies issues. Hope you all have read this issue. You must have read it and you must have left it. But now the real learning starts after this. Even 15th Finance Commission Chairman N.K. Singh, he also told that if we continue with freebies like this, it will lead to subnational bankruptcies. And these freebies are passports to fiscal disasters. When you read newspaper, then only you will get keywords like this. Subnational bankruptcies, passport to fiscal disaster. They are irrational. Distribution must have guidelines. But on the other hand, you will worry about that why, what is bad in that? Government is doing good only. Government is running welfare schemes like PDS, MG Narega, MSPs, and especially when the election time will come, government will increase the allocation during the election year also. So is it because of the populist methods, populist policies to appease the voters, or is it for good for the economy, good for the country? So shall we consider it as welfare or shall we consider it as freebies? Okay, GS2. So if you are reading it, GS2 point of view, you will stop here only. You should not stop here. You think and empower yourself for GS4, ethics paper. In ethics paper, there can be a question, is whatever government is doing, is it right by extending the welfare, or voters are being manipulated on the name of welfare? They are being manipulated, and it is one of the disaster in making, financial disaster. Like our Finance Commission Chairman, 15th Finance Commission N.K. Singh also said, that is a passport to financial disaster. So don't you think that there can be a question in ethics, my dear students? My point to what I want you to think, that whenever you are getting any news, you think from all the dimensions, and for that you need to take the help of the syllabus. On reading this information on prima facie, you will not feel anything. Freebies, election, government aise hi karti hai, populist government, every time they will give freebies to appease voters. No, don't stop there. Your Chief Justice is saying, Supreme Court is saying something, Finance Commission Chairman is saying something. It has its impact on society, people's mentality, behavior, values, polity, voter pattern. We should know the analysis aspect. Then only we are preparing ourselves. Otherwise, we are not preparing ourselves. Now, if any compilation is giving this news as it is, will you be able to apply mind? And that too, when you are reading that compilation only in the end of the month? No. When you are reading it on daily basis, then you have the liberty to prepare it thoroughly. Otherwise, you are not preparing thoroughly. You are just reading it. Okay, next. You must have come across the problems in BSNL, PSUs, Air India, GS3, very important topic, PSU. There can be a full-fledged holistic analysis on PSUs and their role in the economy, their role for the socio-economic development of the country. So you will have good positive points. PSUs after post-independence, they were called as the temple of modern India by Jawaharlal Nehru, our honorable former Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister of India. Now, what is the status of those PSUs? What is the status of those temples of India? Air India was struggling. It was incurring loss. So we sold it. We sold it off to Tata Group. So if any PSU like BSNL, if they are not doing good, if they are incurring losses, Shall we sell them like Air India? Bailout packages, there also there have been problems. Bailout packages are being given, but there is no change. Shall we give it to private players so that efficiency will come, best management will come, technology will come, efficient utilization of human resource and resources will happen? Shall we do that, or what shall we do? If government is giving it to some private player, definitely government will get some revenue. But even after selling Air India, government has got revenue. That is true. They have earned and they kept some target, and that target was met. But what about the debts which are there? So debts are the real liabilities, and Air India's debts are still the liability for the government of India. And from where the government is going to collect money in order to repay those debts? Definitely the taxpayers' money. Okay, so even after selling Air India, government still has the liability of rupees 46,000 crore. Rupees 46,000 crore, which will be passed on to individual taxpayers. And if it is in that manner, now there can be one ethics question: is it ethical? Shall we adopt such path of privatization? GS3 point of view, what could be the more efficient way of privatization? Don't you think that the real liability is being passed on to the taxpayers? So which way or which model of privatization is sustainable? So you should know the analysis. Nobody will buy them because they are too big to buy and no upgraded facilities lying beneath them. This is the main reason why no private player want to buy them. Yes. No attraction. अंदर से खोखली हो चुकी हैं. Even the bailout packages has been given to BSNL, but still the attitude of people is not good. So recently the minister of the concerned department, and the secretary, they told the BSNL workers, don't work with sarkari attitude. GS4, what is this sarkari attitude? We have a topic, attitude, in ethics paper. There we read about chalta hai attitude. ऐसे ही चलता है, ऐसे ही होता है. This is how the government department work. Casual attitude, chalta hai attitude. So they were warned for this, that if you are working with this sarkari attitude, then you have to like forcefully VRS government dilwa sakti hai. Yeah. Okay. So the idea is that whenever you are getting any information, this is how you should think. My dear students, all those who are attending and there, if you're not sleeping, can you please tell me that are you understanding that how shall we cover whenever we are getting any news? So this was in news. The government package to revive BSNL fortunes. It is there, but how it will revive? Are PSUs successful or not? So you should know the critical analysis. ठीक है? Are we good till here? Everyone? Abdul, Anushka, Chaitanya, Divya, Suman, Tanay, Roshni. Since less people are there, so I can take out the names. Okay. समझ में आ रहा कुछ कुछ? कुंचम कुंचम, स्वल्पा स्वल्पा, whatever. Okay. Terrorism. Terrorism is in news. Now, why terrorism is in news? Anyone? You all are reading the Hindu newspaper. You are flipping the newspaper. Why it is in news? Anyone? Can you please tell me? Okay, I will give you hints. It is in news because of 3 reasons. You must have come across this news. Top Al-Qaeda leader Jawahiri killed in Afghanistan in US operation, drone operation, has been killed. Very good. Shivani, you must have come across this news that India is going to host UNSC meet on counter-terrorism in October. Jawahiri killed by US drone strike. Yes, heard it, sir. Very good. Now, after hearing this, how many of you have followed this news? So this news is important because Jawahiri was killed in drone attack in Kabul. Who was the mastermind for 9/11 attacks? First information. Second, It was in news because India is going to host UNSC meet on counter-terrorism in October. So basically we have counter-terrorism committee, and it is for the first time India is going to host all UNSC 15 members over this counter-terrorism committee, and India will be hosting it for the first time in October. Now, why that is significant for India? Analysis, mains point of view, security, GS3, internal security, international IR. It is important where we are looking for forums like UNSC, United States, Al Jawahiri. We are looking for international collaboration. Then multilateral forums, bilateral forums, groupings, conventions, they become important. So it is important for your GS2 also, and it is important for your GS3 also. Mains perspective we are talking. Prelims, conceptual and factual information, as we have covered, there we have seen that how it can be asked and how we should cover it. Now from mains perspective, you should know 2-3 aspects. First, that first time India is holding, that why it is important for India. And the third information which you should know, that India has been pushing for CCIT. How many of you know CCIT? Anyone? Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. India has been pushing for it since 1996, to where the countries will collaborate. All the United Nations countries should collaborate in order to recognize that terrorism is a real threat, and terrorism, there is no universal definition. There is no definition of what is actually terrorism. Sometimes a person who is terrorist for India is not terrorist for China or for Pakistan. So there is no global common understanding. So again, India is going to push it in October because India is going to organize that meeting. So India will push for it. Again, GS3, GS4, India's role at global level in United Nations. And not only that, there are new challenges from which are posing challenge. Cybersecurity. So these terrorist people, they are coming up with new challenges. They are posing new challenges for the countries. Cyber wars, crypto, drones, financing. These are the new challenges. So here India is going to discuss about those challenges as well. Yes, funding through cryptos. Also, how to tackle them, global collaboration, because these things are transnational. It is not related to India only, or it is not related to USA only. Things are happening over internet. So this is beyond boundaries, physical boundaries. It is transnational. So how to tackle them? All these become important because of this news. Most of us, we will see that, we will leave it. We will not cover this holistically. We will see that what justification we will give ourselves. When this meet will happen, then we will see what is the outcome of that meet, and I will read that much only. No, my dear students, whenever you are reading any newspaper, you should cover it in this manner so that you are thorough with that particular topic. And when this update is happening, just you are adding those points. Initially, it is going to take time, but over a period of time, you will have good repository and good knowledge of the issues and holistic information of those issues with you. Yes, Deepak. Okay. How many of you have seen this Naga peace process related news in the current affairs? You must have come across, this was in news, and you must have come across this news. NSCN IM marks 25 years of ceasefire. Most of us will read this and we will skip this. How many of you have done so? Let's acknowledge it. There is no shame, there is no harm in acknowledging it. You can raise your hand, I can see, or you can just drop a message. There is no harm in it. Let's acknowledge it. Most of the time we ignore such news. 25 years of ceasefire, what is there? But this is very important for GS2 point of view, GS1 point of view, society, stability in this society, northeastern part of the country, GS2 political, our federalism point of view, federal issues, GS3 point of view, internal security, GS4, peace, harmony in the society. Why it is not important? It is. Okay. So किसी ने हाथ उठाया है क्या? Yes, Sanjana. Only Sanjana has raised hand. Chaitanya. Okay. Nobody else? Okay. Good. So the first step in learning is that let's acknowledge our mistakes, and then only we can proceed. Then only we will be able to understand that how we should improve. So NSCN, Naga peace process is very important. If you are following our daily issue analysis, DIA, in DIA we have covered it holistically. We have told that why it was in news, and we have covered right from 1918 when the Naga club was formed, then how they went to Simon Commission. After that, they declared independence in 1946 and 47. Then after that, 1975, the agreement. 1997, the agreement was signed. 1975, we signed the Shillong Accord. 1997, the ceasefire. 2014, when Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji came. Since then, we are negotiating over the Naga Peace Accord, but the only framework agreement was signed. So like this, we have discussed there. I have discussed there through timeline approach, why we have not been able to achieve peace till date. So why peace is elusive, what are the challenges, and what are the solutions. So we have discussed almost 10 to 12 points under issues and 10 to 12 points under challenges and way forward. So there I have discussed, so I will not cover it here. You can refer it. We are also providing handwritten notes for that, so you can refer it. So Naga peace process is important. So this one news, but how you are preparing, that will define your preparation. That will define how serious you are about your preparation. Definitely, it will be painful. But all beautiful things will happen only, or they will come only after pain. Shivani is saying, no, sir, I watched DIA after that, so it was holistically covered. Okay, good. Deepak is saying, no progress, IM group is crippled and becoming very irrelevant. Deepak, yahi to analyze karna hai. Why they are becoming irrelevant? What are the issues? Why we are not able to address peace in the Nagaland? What is their demand? What are the solutions? So if we are preparing like that in depth, then only we are preparing ourselves for top 100, top 50, single digit and double digit rank. Otherwise, just skipping and flipping will not help. Climate change. Anyone? Have you come across anything related to climate change in news? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, you must have come across this news. Sticking to commitments on India's climate change goals. Anyone? Deepak is saying young blood is joining the mainstream for politics for better results. Good. In what context you are saying? Okay, so you must have come across this news that India and the cabinet has approved recently the upgraded INDC targets. Okay, very good. Panchamrit goals in parliamentary bill. Shivani, very good. So cabinet has just approved the upgraded INDC target. Now you must be familiar with INDC if I'm not wrong. My dear students, do you know about INDC? So INDC targets have been upgraded, and Glasgow meeting was held last year. So Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji there, he announced about, he promised about Panchamrit from India's side at COP26. So what is it? We should know. What are the provisions of it? We should know. What is the current status of our progress? Whether we are progressing or not, that is one thing. Our status, current status, that is another thing. If there are challenges, what are those challenges? And what could be the way forward in order to meet those INDC targets? So all these become important just because of this news. Related prelims information, our INDC target, Glasgow Summit, UNFCCC, related target, and under those targets, we are talking about solar, we are talking about wind, we are talking about onshore wind, offshore wind, we are talking about hybrid So what is the status of that? What technologies are responsible behind it? So all those things become important. Got it? So till now we have discussed almost 6 topics from 3rd, 4th and 5th August. We will discuss more. The 7th one being cryptocurrencies. Was it in news? Anyone? Why it was in news? Come on. If you are following the current affairs, then you know that why it was in news. No one? It was in news because RBI has recommended that there should be a ban on cryptocurrencies, but our finance minister is saying crypto legislation can only work, any ban or any legislation can only work when there is global collaboration. And she has told in the parliament, it was in news, but for what reasons? Our RBI is saying that there should be a ban on cryptocurrencies because it has potential to destabilize the economy. But finance minister is saying any ban can work, any legislation can work only when there is a global collaboration. Why? Because it is internet based. This is one aspect. It was in news because our finance minister and RBI are saying something. When we were discussing quiz, there we discussed about MICA. What was that? European Parliament has recently come up with a provisional agreement on MICA, markets in crypto assets for regulations of cryptocurrencies. So in this context, what all we should know? For prelims and mains point of view, we should know what are cryptocurrencies, the technologies on which they are based, their potential and application. Let's say there can be a question in prelims itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 statements. Nowadays, they are giving 7 and 8 statements. If they give us statements and they ask us, okay, the application of cryptocurrencies are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we don't know the technology behind, we will be never able to guess the answer or reach the answer. In order to understand that, first we should know and understand the technology on which the cryptocurrencies work. So that we should know, potential we should know, application we should know, challenges of using it, what kind of security threats are there, terrorism, it is one of the rising threat. Is a ban only solution, or like what RBI is recommending? Is ban only one of the solution? What is the way forward? So when you are preparing like this in all these dimensions, then you are preparing it holistically from prelims and mains point of view. So the idea is why I'm calling it as a workshop. In workshop, I'm empowering you how you should develop your thought process, the tools and the thought process, how to do that. We will further discuss other tools, then you will understand the real meaning of workshop. Okay? Money laundering. Anyone? Have you followed this news of Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary case by Supreme Court? So the cases, the judgments, they become very important. Judgments, committees, they become very important. Vijay Madan Lal case. How many of you know about it? No one? So in this case, Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary case, Supreme Court upheld the provisions of PMLA. What is PMLA? Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Yes, Shivani, it is related to twin conditions required for bail. So Supreme Court upheld the twin bail conditions. They upheld the like FIR, they have ESIR requirement where the what kind of investigation is going on, what are the charges which has been put on the person, all the details will be there. And the powers of the ED, all those things has been discussed here in Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary case, and Supreme Court is saying it's okay, it is fine, no problem in that. And we have discussed it in detail in our DIA initiative. Under DIA, we have discussed it holistically. What is it? What is the definition? How it is threat? What are the different ways of money laundering? How money laundering, how the black money or the illegal money is channelized in the legal framework. Yes. So Supreme Court has remarked money laundering as a crime which is as heinous as terrorism. So such statements, when you are reading the current affairs, then only you will be able to extract it. Yatish, are you understanding that? Why did I say that through these examples, we will be able to understand that why reading on your own is better than reading the compilation at the end of the month and reading the newspaper on daily basis? That is the purpose. We will further understand it with the help of example. Okay. So this was in news. Has bail under PMLA become near impossible? Yes, then why? Because Supreme Court is saying that the money laundering is a crime which is as heinous as terrorism. India and Maldives. You must have come across that someone has visited us. Who has visited us from Maldives? Anyone? Who has visited us? Ibu has visited us. President Ibu. President Ibrahim Soli. Okay, let me show it to you. Maldives President Soli's visit came in fraught moment and ties between the two countries. Delhi must tread careful. This was one news. Then also there was another news. Okay, I think I have kept only one aspect of it. No problem. Okay, so India and Maldives is in news because recently President Ibrahim Soli has visited. They have signed 6 agreements and they have also signed cyber security agreements. So why they have signed? In what context this visit is important? Sri Lankan crisis. In that context, why this visit is important? What all agreements has been signed? India has given $100 million USD, 100 million LOC, line of credit, 24 utility vehicles to the National Defense Force of Maldives. Why? Why India is supporting? India is part of greater Malay connectivity project. Why India is developing that project? And what is India's role in that project? What is the status of diaspora? What are the challenges between India and Maldives? What is the timeline, brief timeline of the our relationship? Was there any dispute between them and us? Deepak, China is the main reason. But why China is the main reason? If we have that understanding, then only we are preparing for our exam. China is the main reason. But why? China is playing with the regional players because of their string of pearls. ठीक है, Yatish, very good. And also checkbook diplomacy. Checkbook diplomacy, debt trap policy. Yes, India does not have any diaspora policy. Debt trap, very good, Yatish. And it is important in the context of Sri Lankan crisis. Why? Because we have seen that whatever policy or the role which China plays in development of the infrastructure of any country, the way they project it, that is not the reality. And countries are actually suffering. So Maldives has realized it and they are looking up to India. They are looking towards India. And they are saying, President Soli has recently said in this visit that for Maldives, India is on highest priority of the relationship. For them, India first is the policy. For us, neighborhood first is our policy. So this is very important for India-Maldives, bilateral relation, changing foreign policy relations in India. Yes. So that way, these information become news. And yesterday only, we have covered it in our Diya initiative. So again and again, I'm saying Diya, few initiatives we have covered there. So that is our daily issue analysis on our YouTube channel. We are doing it, and the handwritten notes of the same, we are providing it on our Telegram channel as well. So on YouTube, videos are there. Telegram channel pe, we have our current affairs handwritten notes. So yesterday only I have covered, so that's why I'm telling it to you. In all these dimensions, you should know. Then what could be the way forward? Where India and Maldives should collaborate? Why Maldives is important for Indian Ocean region? How India sees Maldives as a potential partner, and why historically our relations are very strong. Okay? Western Ghats, was it in news anyway? था वेस्टर्न घाट न्यूज में? Okay, let's see how many of you are still watching. ठीक है. After some point of time, people think that okay, ठीक है, why to attend so much of content? Let's read less and be happy. How many of you are having this mindset? थोड़ा पढ़ो, कम पढ़ो, खुश रहो. Okay? Shabnam. So it was in news because of this. The draft notification on ESA in Western Ghats and Karnataka's stiff resistance to it. So central government has come up. Yes, Shivani, it was in news because there is a row on ESA, that is ecological sensitive area. So our central government has come up with ESA notification where they are talking about ecological sensitive areas, and southern states are not happy with that, because that ecological sensitive area in Western Ghats is going to affect the developmental activities in those regions. So Karnataka is not happy, Kerala is not happy, so they are opposing it. So they are saying that development will be affected. So again, we have a debate of environment versus development. What kind of development is good? GDP versus GNH. So debate is there, how to balance it. So we should know the provisions of this draft bill. Yes, why it is important to know the provisions of the draft bill? In UPSC 2020, UPSC has asked in GS3, a question was there. What are the provisions of draft EIA bill, Environmental Impact Assessment Bill? What are the features and how these features are different from the previous act or the rules? So we can never say by looking at any topic on a prima facie, we cannot say that we should not prepare it. We should prepare it thoroughly. Then only it will be important. Then only we will be able to do it holistically. And if you are doing it on daily basis, then only it will be important. So UPSC has asked that. So even though it is a draft notification, you should know why it is important. UAPA, again, it is in news. The people who are criticizing government, journalists, political activists, they are being arrested. So we are discussing it in the context of bail provisions. So here, a person who has been arrested, they cannot come out on bail. They can be there in the jail up to 180 days. It's very stringent. So there is a debate going on. Shall we reform it? And if it is modified, then what should be those modifications, and whether it is if it has to be modified or not, or it has to be kept like this. So there is a video which we have covered on bail reforms. So there also briefly we have discussed. Okay. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. 11 topics. I'm just telling you 11 topics here from mains point of view from 3rd, 4th and 5th August. I'm not stopping here. Are you understanding the importance of reading the newspapers daily and how to connect it? So this is one aspect of empowering you, that whenever you are getting the news, first one related to quiz, I have already told you. Second one, I'm telling that whenever you are getting any topic, this is how you should think, this is how you should relate. And this will happen only when you are thorough with the syllabus. Then only you will be able to relate it. Achha, GS3 may also important, GS4 also important, this dimension is important, that dimension is important. समझ में आ रहा है? How many of you are clueless? How many of you are feeling empowered? How many of you are sad? Or how many of you are neutral? Next. Now I'm going to show you certain topics which you can prepare from the current affairs related to ethics. Those who don't know, we have a GS4, we have a one paper in mains of 250 marks, that is called as GS4 and ethics. Yes, I asked a question. None of you have replied. Okay, so feeling empowered, I'm happy. Next, you must have come across this Sanjay Pandey case. Sanjay Pandey case, any one of you? Okay, let me give you a scenario. Now I'm giving you a miniature case study where I'm asking you to visualize and tell. After seeing this, I understood that I left a lot of issues from newspaper. This is you are telling from newspaper. Now you just imagine that when you are reading the compilation at the end of the month, then what you will feel. There you will not feel all these also, because you don't know that what was there in the current affairs and what was not there in the current affairs. We are just reading the compilation, and compilation is also has a limitation that not everything can be covered there. Then it will become too bulky, right? Already many compilations are bulky. Further it will become further more bulky. Okay, anyways, now you just be in a whatever scenario I'm going to give you, you just see that and you visualize. So there is a situation, let's say that you are having power and you have power and you have got some information and you have blown the whistle in your department, and through your whistle blowing act you have got to know about the corruption, the irregularities, the problems and challenges which are there in your department. Okay, and it is something good, it is something good that you have done, and now jitne bhi problems see it is out in there and you can use it, so you have blown the whistle. But the medium which you have adopted to blow the whistle, the means which you have adopted, you have got to know about this information, the information which you have got through phone tapping, through tapping the phone, and that too not in a right manner. You are not authorized for that, because phone tapping is allowed only in specific cases. Even though you are commissioner, you are police commissioner, even then it is allowed in certain cases only. With permission it has to be allowed. So if you have the power and you are using the power to get that information, so my question is, what are the ethical issues in this? Is it right or wrong? Is this kind of phone tapping is justified, yes or no? So good that you have highlighted, but what about means? Now, thus such kind of questions right from the current affairs can be framed about this. So there is a Sanjay Pandey case. He's a former Mumbai police commissioner. But inspired by that, I have framed a case study for you. If you will prepare, then only you will know that what is justified. In ethics, there is nothing right and wrong, but you should know means are all equally important for any end. Means and ends both are important. What about utilitarian then, where greatest good of greatest number of people is important? Okay, we have already discussed about freebies. Again, ethics point, freebies, welfare versus manipulation, welfare versus populism, is it justified? Yes or no? So we have already discussed. Culling of pigs. You must have come across this news in Wayanad. Culling of pigs in Wayanad farm has been completed. And this culling will happen related to birds, influenza, swine flu, culling of pigs. In fact, in Germany, they culled deers. Deer, you know, deer. And they justified that time. What was their justification? They told that the deers, they were eating grasses. And there are many species who are dependent upon those grasses. Worms are there, birds are there, insects are there. If all the grasses will be eaten by the deer itself, then there will be no grass left. So it will be a kind of habitat destruction for those worms, those insects, those birds. Thus, it will lead to ecological imbalance. In order to maintain that ecological balance and in order to take care of the ecosystem, we had to cull the deer. So is it justified? Now, you ask this question, is it justified? Germany has justified this. Sometimes we put the animals species in vermin. Our WPA Act 1972, Wildlife Protection Act 1972 has schedule, prelims question. Which schedule mentions vermins? Anyone? किस schedule में vermins का जिक्र होता है? Which schedule of WPA, that is Wildlife Protection Act, is talking about vermins? Good. That only we have few serious students who are attending the sessions. Okay, so we have answer. Let's see who has given the answer. Schedule 5. Schedule 5. Okay. Then what about schedule 6? Schedule 6 is about what? Google कर लो. Google करके बता दो. In the meantime, we will proceed. So culling of pigs. Schedule 5, it is for plants. Then what is schedule 6 all about? It is for plants. Or schedule 5 is for plants. So culling, vermins. Vermins are introduced time to time. Government will tell about vermins and they will be mentioned in one of the schedule, and the states have the freedom to kill them. Sometimes peacock, nilgai, monkey, they have been declared. Monkey have been declared vermins for Uttarakhand. So schedule 6 is for plants. Okay. Schedule 6 is for plants. So this is how you should prepare and ask questions so that you are thorough. Schedule 5 is for vermin. Yes. ठीक है? वो तो prelims का हो गया. Now is it ethical or not? From animal rights point of view, it is ethical, and when it should be allowed, when it is justified, those questions will be asked and we will be clueless. It can be asked in interview, it can be asked in ethics. Critically analyze the act of culling by states. Is it ethically right or wrong? When it can be justified? We kill dogs. Anyways, so ethics related. Now I am going to show you these bills which were introduced or passed in these 3 days itself. Antarctica bill, you must have come across. Antarctica bill has been introduced for what? To support our research, navigation, scientific activities, expeditions in Antarctica. Prelims question. What are the names of the research centers at Antarctica? Himadri, where is it? Arctic, Antarctic. Bharti, Maitri, Dakshin Gangotri. Where? So for prelims, we should know all these things. But now for mains, we should have this analysis of Antarctica bill, that why Antarctica bill is important for India. Climate change point of view, research, navigation, expeditions, scientific breakthrough, in order to understand that what role poles can play in order for the circulation or the climate change balance. Data protection bill, the PDP, that is personal data protection bill, has been introduced, passed or withdrawn. Anyone? Why it was in news? It was in news because this, on the basis of JPC recommendation, that is Joint Parliamentary Committee's recommendation, whatever feedback has been given by Joint Parliamentary Committee, government has withdrawn this bill and they have told that we will come up with a more comprehensive bill in future. This is news. Further, I will tell you that why this news is important. Okay, so like this, other bills have been introduced. We should know the provision. Just 3 days, my dear friends. Within 3 days, we should know the provision. We should know the holistic analysis. Initially, it will be painful, but once you get the hang of it, you will be able to enjoy. It has been withdrawn by Parliament. Yes. It was introduced after the recommendation of B.N. Shri Krishna Committee. Now it has been withdrawn. But on recommendation of whom? It means the body who is recommending is important for the scrutiny. We'll see how. Now what I have done, I have taken certain examples and case studies, and with the help of those newspaper articles, we will understand that why they are important. Okay, are we good till here? Are you feeling empowered? Are you understanding the real meaning of workshop? What is the purpose? What was the intention? And we are achieving it slowly, gradually. Okay. Now let's understand and discuss them in detail. So this we have, sorry. No. Okay, wait. Yeah. I am a whistleblower pointed out criminal acts, Mumbai ex-top cop. So he is our Sanjay Pandey, ex-Mumbai police commissioner, about whom we have discussed earlier, and the situation. I presented a case study, mini case study for you. So there was a spying involved, there was a phone tapping involved by ex-Mumbai top cop in order to unearth the corruption. Is it justified or not? Next, this was in news. Now read it with me. From Punjab, on both sides of the border, two weightlifters forge a winning bond. If this is visible, can you read? I will read it for you. After his record-breaking overall lift of 405 kg in 109 kg plus category of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, Pakistan's Mohammad Nuh Dashtgir Butt, 25, was looked at around for the bronze medalist, India's Gurdeep Singh. When he was being given gold medal, he was looking for Gurdeep Singh, bronze medalist. Why? This wasn't the winner of the Pakistan's first gold. At these games, being gracious for the camera, he was not looking for the camera that, yes, I'm getting gold. In fact, he was looking for friends wanting to share their moment of glory. So he was looking for Gurdeep Singh to create that memory, to create that moment together as a friend across the borders. Later, two would party into the night, sharing their joy with their favorite Sidhu Moosewala songs playing in the background. So the idea is, sports has a potential, has a tool to bridge, which can act as a bridge between two enemies. It can bridge the gaps. It can reduce the enmity. That is the spirit of the sports. So don't you think that you can use it as an example that how values are important? What role? How we can improve peace? Sports is one of the ways through which we can bridge the gaps between two communities, be it at national level, international level. So this is one very good example of peace, practical, not superficial, that there should be good relation between India and Pakistan. How that good relation can be maintained, this is one of the examples. And this is how you should write the answers also. Don't ever write, we should improve our relation. India-Pakistan, we should improve our relation. The examiner as a reader, it looks very superficial. It looks like a hung statement. And as a reader, it doesn't give appeal. If you are substantiating it with the help of this example that India and Pakistan should overcome, they should bridge the gaps through sports, then it will make sense. I will be happy. I will think that you are bringing unique analysis in your answers. This will come when? This news must be there in some section, some corner of the sports section. पढ़ना पड़ता है, relate करना पड़ता है. But that will happen when you will know that why do you need it and where it is required. It is required in some respective part of the syllabus. And why do you need it? Because when you are writing your answers, you know that you struggle for such examples. Primary school students boycott food cooked by Dalits, says contractor. Official says no caste biases. Earlier, the same students, they were eating the food. But when the contract went to a Dalit family, they stopped eating it. Caste-based discrimination, educational system, value degradation happening. The kids, they are primary school students. Who is motivating them? We also know that as a kid, we don't have this much mind or the sense that we should discriminate people on the basis of their caste. So what kind of values we are giving to our future generation? And that too at educational institution, this is happening. Is it justified? Don't you think that the educational institutions are imbibing or they are inculcating undesirable values? Yes, they are. So this is the example. On the other hand, we have IAS officers like Kamal Tanuj, who ate the food of midday meal in Bihar prepared by a lady from Dalit community in order to break the barriers, to bridge the gaps कि नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, if Dalit person is cooking the food, they also cook the same food. So that is how an IAS officer can be an agent of change in the society. So you need examples, and that you are getting from the current affairs. In first all women Navy crew complete surveillance mission over Arabian Sea. You must have come across this, and I should not tell you that why this news is important, because you know that you can use this for women empowerment. You can use it in essay. You can use it that how women in their combat roles, recce, surveillance, they completed their training, how what role they can play, how even the defense forces are changing. This year, International Women's Day, we had the theme was hashtag break the barriers. So breaking the barriers, that was the theme. So these new young women of India, don't you think they are breaking the barriers? Role in armed forces, women empowerment, you can write all these things. Nari Shakti, yes, Shivani, Nari Shakti. ठीक है? So talk about all these things. Now I will tell you other news through which we will get to understand about few important components. So this is a news from Andhra Pradesh. That's why in starting I told that people from Andhra Pradesh, there is a news from your state as well. And that news is Andhra Pradesh is saying National Green Tribunal orders ONGC to pay rupees 22 crore to AP PCB. What has happened? The Chennai bench of the National Green Tribunal, NGT, they told the ONGC to pay 22 crore rupees to Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board for what? Because ONGC activities, they created a lot of large scale air, sound, soil, water pollution in the East and West Godavari district. So we have people from West Godavari district. So there ONGC was doing some activities, and because of which they have been penalized by NGT. Now you will say that, okay, why this news is important? You must have read it and you would have told, yeah, government is doing something. You must have felt good, or you must have thought that, okay, this news is not important. Andhra Pradesh is specific, this is not important. But I will tell you why it is important. In our exam, we have a syllabus, GS2 portion mein there is a syllabus, there is a topic constitutional and statutory bodies. Statutory bodies, NGT Act is there. Which year? Anyone? Prelims question. Is it a constitutional body or a statutory body? Is there any act or is there any article? Okay. A statutory body. Very good. ठीक है. Statutory body. Very good. Statutory body. Very good. So we have to sometimes analyze the functionings of NGT as a body. For negative, we will get 100 points, 10 points we will get. No power is there, no finance is there, regional human resource capacity is not there, technological problems are there. They don't have power to reinforce whatever they say. NGT Act 2010, yes. So critical analysis में negative points we will get, but for positive we will get very few points. That how NGT has become important in order to penalize ONGC for their environmental acts. ONGC is a PSU and they are polluting in a region and they have been penalized for it. So is it not a very good example to substantiate your positive analysis? Where NGT is really playing important role? Yes, it is. Few days back, NGT also told Uttar Pradesh and Bihar government and asked them to give a justification or to take care of the bodies which are floating in Ganga, human bodies. Why they are floating? Accountability, enforcing accountability, penalizing for the act. So these are your two arguments and you have two examples. Positive, one for accountability, fixing accountability on the governments, and second, penalizing people, penalizing bodies for their action. You have two examples. You will get it how? When you are reading it. This analysis, no compilation will give you. that how to use this. Just by looking at this, it might sound like some Andhra Pradesh specific news, and it will be not important for us. It is from 3rd August and from the Hindu. समझ में आ रहा है? My dear students, all those who are present and who will be watching it as a recorded video, are you understanding that why it is important? ठीक है? Let's understand it. Crossing the line on transgression by Maharashtra governor. I'm very sure 99% of us will see this news and we will think that it is a political news and we will skip it. But I will tell you from this news itself, I will tell you 4 arguments to analyze a constitutional post, and that too very important for GS2. We have governor, you all know that it is a constitutional body, and we can have a full-fledged question on governor. We will be asked critically analyze the office of governor. Do we need it or we don't need it? In GS2, you can get it. Okay, so how many of you have come across this news and you have skipped it thinking that it is a political news? There is no harm in raising hand or acknowledging it. My dear all, if you acknowledge, then only we will be able to correct ourselves and then only we will grow. Sanjana, okay. Roshni, okay. I skipped it. Shivani, okay, okay, great. Now, this was a skip. Let's understand it. See, I'm empowering you, so don't feel bad. I thought only governor as a topic is important. Roshni, governor as a topic it is important. How efficient it is it effective or not in present day India? That we will learn. Okay, let's understand it. So in this article, Maharashtra governor, you can use this as an example. Name is B.S. Koshyari. Maharashtra governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari. What this news is saying? Now listen. Maharashtra governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari was tactless in his tasteless comment at a public event recently. That we will see further. So what happened? We all know that governor is there and the council of minister is there and executive bodies, chief minister is there along with council of minister. They take actions for the state and they function, they run the whole state, and governor is there to put a check and balance. So in when this COVID-19 pandemic came, that time the chief minister, the council of minister, the executive, they put a ban. They restricted the entry or they restricted the movement of the people at religious places. Okay, so government closed the places of worship in order to, so that the COVID transmission will not happen and people will not come out. So they closed it. You know what was the comment of Mr. Bhagat Singh Koshyari, honorable governor? He told, he taunted, he passed a comment on the chief minister. Have you become secular or what? Have you turned secular or what? Now you just imagine if a person of that caliber, means holding a constitutional post, is passing a comment on the functioning of the government. Is it not intrusion? Is it not interference in the policy matters? It is a policy matter. Because of COVID, chief minister has taken some action and the governor of the state is saying, have you turned secular or what? It was the matter of health. Government took that step in order to check the transmission of COVID virus. So intrusion. So the first argument which you have got is that how sometimes governor will interfere in the functioning of the policy matters or in the functioning of the executive or in policy matters. For example, governor of Maharashtra did like this. This is your argument and you have substantiated it with the help of that example. समझ में आया? 1. Second, governor, we read that parliament may, president is there, Lok Sabha is there, Rajya Sabha is there, whatever bill, whatever actions will be there, governor or the parliament, president or the governor will be responsible. President is responsible at the national level for parliament, governor is responsible for the Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad at such places. So in Maharashtra, Mr. Bhagat Singh Koshyari, he didn't allow the election of the speaker, new speaker of the assembly, to happen for 1 year. Generally, what happens? Governor will announce the election, date of election, and that day speaker will the election of speaker will happen. He didn't allow the election of the new speaker to the assembly. Because of that, till 1 year there was no speaker, and he kept on giving excuses. It shows what? Your second argument: failure of the governor to fulfill the constitutional duty. That announcement of the election date is his constitutional duty. He failed to perform that. And now you have substantiated it with the help of example, the one which we have discussed. Second argument you are getting. Third argument: poor conduct. The people who are holding the constitutional position, like Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, sometimes they reflect poor conduct, which is not desirable and which should not happen. How? Let's read this article, which is there in front of you. So Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari was tactless in his tasteless comment. What did he do? Let's see. Acha, chalo, this I will reserve it for next argument. Third argument was poor conduct. I will tell you how he did that. So it was in this article only. So what he did, he passed a very unthoughtful, he passed the remarks for Chhatrapati Shivaji and for Savitribai Phule. We know that Chhatrapati Shivaji is a cultural figure. He has a cultural importance for the people of Maharashtra, and people at India level, at national level, also recognize Chhatrapati Shivaji. And also Savitribai Phule, she is icon of social progress. Chhatrapati Shivaji is icon of cultural pride. But towards them, he passed a thoughtless remark, because of which he was in news. So that is poor conduct. You know that somebody is important for a state, you know that somebody is important for the country, and if you are passing a poor remark, he commented that Maharashtra is nothing but without Gujaratis. That is what the fourth comment is. So that is his poor conduct. Third argument, and I have substantiated it. Fourth argument is that the governor sometimes, generally when you will read in prelims in Lakshmikant, that any governor or president, if they are taking any oath, they have to uphold the constitution. That is one of the oath. Now, what he did, let's see here. So what is he doing? At that public event, he brought up the tension between Marathi speakers and people from other parts of the country who made state their home. So what did he say? The governor inappropriately for the position, since he is a governor and constitutional post, so governor inappropriate for the position that he occupies, he taunted that Marathi speakers by saying that if Gujarati and Rajasthanis are removed from the Maharashtra, especially from Mumbai and Thane, no money will flow in this state, in Maharashtra. So basically what he did, he passed a comment, he taunted that Maharashtra say if we remove Gujaratis and other speaking Gujaratis and Rajasthanis, Maharashtra cannot function, especially Thane and Mumbai. Now that is the statement which is coming from a person who is holding the constitutional position and who has taken an oath to uphold the constitutional values of equality, no discrimination. So equality is one of the important value. Discriminatory practices should not be there. That is what our constitution says. We should not differentiate or discriminate people on the place of birth, region, religion, sex. Yes, gender. So if that is the case, and if the governor of a state itself is doing so, so are they upholding the constitution? Whatever oath they have taken, are they doing justice with that? Are they able to uphold the constitutional values? Is it not against constitutional morality? So this is how you should argue. So from this article, we have discussed 4 arguments in order to analyze the post of governor with respect to upholding constitution, with respect to poor conduct, with respect to that how as a part of government they fail to fulfill their constitutional duties, and how they sometimes intrude and interfere in the constitution, in the policy matters. But when we read this news on prima facie, it will look like what? It will look like a political news. Now you tell me, was it a political news? My dear students, very good to see that slowly, gradually, only those are there who are serious about their preparation. So this is the success rate in UPSC also. In UPSC, final selection may, people who are getting into the list, you know what is the ratio? 0.001% of people are getting selected. So good that serious people are there with us, and the people who are not serious, they have eliminated, they have left, or maybe there would be some technical problem at their internet level, or some other classes will be there. So I'm not commenting on them that why they have left. I'm telling that you should be serious whenever it comes to newspaper. Prepare thoroughly and realize its importance. Government withdraws data protection bill to bring revamped reforged regulation. Joint Parliamentary Committee recommended that there are flaws, there are problems. Parliamentary scrutiny. Parliamentary committees to put a check and balance on the functioning of the executive. So how important they are? We have one example. Yes, can you use it? On prima facie, you will read it as an example that, okay, government has withdrawn the bill. Data protection bill has been withdrawn. But why? JPC has given 81 recommendations. 81 recommendations has been suggested and government has accepted it. Now you tell me, is it just a news, or it is one of the examples which will help you in making your, substantiating your point that how parliamentary scrutinies, how crucial are parliamentary scrutinies? What important role they can play, parliamentary committees. Are you understanding? And with this, another topic which you should cover is about parliamentary reforms. So there was a committee, Dr. PPK Ramacharlu committee. It was appointed by Vice President in order to suggest reforms for the functioning of the Rajya Sabha. And that also I have covered in our daily issue analysis. So this naturally brings a question to parliamentary reforms, Dr. PPK Ramacharlu committee. The whole parliamentary reforms become very important topic for this year mains and next year mains and for your exam. So I've covered it holistically. Those who have watched it, you will get to know about it, or you can refer that video. So this is how you should take one news for any information from the newspaper, and you should prepare it holistically and use it as example. CAG reports tabled in House after Lieutenant Governor's intervention. Where? Lieutenant Governor's intervention where? Have you come across this news? Anyone? It was on 5th August. So CAG produces a lot of reports in Delhi. Yes, Shivani. CAG will produce reports, and that is very important for this state. But from 4 years, it was not being presented. On request, it was done, but it was not presented. But when Lieutenant Governor of Delhi intervened, finally, after 4 years, it was tabled in the state. In the state assembly. Positive point, positive example to support how efficient CAG is. You must have come across this prelims question for you. Where is this region? Hasdeo Aranya region. So there was someone from Chhattisgarh. I told that there is a question, there is information from your state as well, Chhattisgarh. So this is Hasdeo Aranya forest, which is known as the lungs of Chhattisgarh. You will read this news, then you will get to know that they are known as the lungs of Chhattisgarh. And the past 1 year, a lot of mining activities are happening. People are protesting. Still, coal mining is happening. And in 2010, government was of this stand. Central government took a stand that no, these are very important, and it is ecological sensitive zone. But immediately after 1 year, clearance was given and mining started. Today, people are protesting, but still mining is going on. And the article is saying that it is known as the lungs of Chhattisgarh. Again, ecology versus development, people centric versus economy. What kind of development we need? Okay. No-go zone. Yes, it was a no-go zone, but still it's going on. You must have come across ED, PMLA. So you talk about National Herald, you talk about Supreme Court upholding the provisions of PMLA and in Vijay Madan Lal case, and the ED tenure extension of the director. So there can be and recently ED has unearthed the scam in West Bengal, education minister related. So these 4 were news related to piecemeal extension of tenure has happened. So the 4 news are there related to ED and PMLA only. So don't you think that there can be a question on analysis of the constitutional and statutory bodies? We have GS2, or money laundering is there in GS3. So is it not important? Yes, it becomes important. And that to tenure, the person whose tenure has been extended, there were flaws. They are supposed to file their returns of movable and immovable property. They need to, not returns, they need to disclose it, reports. So they need to tell the reports, but the person did not file, did not disclose it for last 5 years. So that person is suitable for extension, or that person is suitable for punishment. So there should be disciplinary action, or there should be tenure extension. Question mark on integrity. So very important for GS2, GS3 and GS4. Okay. So this is it from the current affairs of 3 days only, 3rd, 4th and 5th August. Okay. Are we good till here? So we have seen prelims, how to cover information for prelims, how to cover the issues in holistic manner, examples and case studies for GS1, 2, 3. Sometimes you will get the examples for your optional as well. I have not kept that because, but yeah, if people are having any PSIR and sociology point of view, so you can collect these examples there as well. Okay, we have seen important bills. So what all we have, Acha, by the way, those who don't know, so we are covering our issues in DIA like this. We provide handwritten notes. So we have already covered money laundering, and we have also covered Naga peace process. So you can go through it in detail, where we talk about timelines, where we talk about what is money laundering, the important statements. Money laundering is offense against sovereignty and integrity of the country. It is heinous offense than the offense of terrorism. So Supreme Court lines, important things. So this we are covering. So we have, what are the takeaways point from today's session? So takeaways point are that prelims information, how you should extract. You should be able to extract hidden gems. Syllabus is the key. If you are thorough with the syllabus, then you will be able to extract. Value addition materials, example and case studies, how to use and how to extract information from there, from the news, which might look like not so useful on prima facie, and finding arguments through governor example, through CAG example, through JPC data protection example. We saw that how we can generate arguments for our analysis and use them as example. So I'm just quickly revising what all we have done. And at the end, I have also told you that maximum, initially these things will take time, but maximum you should devote 2.5 hours for 2 newspapers, and you can do it. You can achieve it. Don't worry. Daily reading is important because of all these things. And the kind of information which we have discussed today, if you're not reading on daily basis, you won't be able to extract that, you won't be able to remember that, and forget about replication. That will never happen, because for that we need to read and revise it on daily basis. Okay, so with this, we finish the first day of the workshop, and tomorrow we are going to take 1 or 2 issues and we will cover it in a holistic manner. There I will empower you that how to cover any issue in holistic manner. What all should be the points which should come in your mind. So that we are going to do tomorrow in the workshop. Tomorrow, we will discuss about how to make notes from the current affairs so that it will be holistic, inclusive, for prelims point of view, mains point of view, revision friendly. And tomorrow we will also have a live answer writing session where we will discuss, I will give you one question and you have to write. And trust me, it will be very interesting. So don't think that I will skip the session. It will be more empowering for you and it will remove the fear of answer writing. And then tomorrow I will take doubts. So there will be a doubt session tomorrow. Okay. So this is it with the first day of the workshop. Hope you all had good time. Hope you are feeling empowered. And with this, we will wind up the session. But before that, I want to know your feedback. I want to know your viewpoint about today's session. Has it helped you or not? The approach, the way we have discussed, or anything you want to say, please let me know. Accordingly, we shall wind up. Okay, let's see how many people are there. I'm sure that most of those who attended, they are going to watch the recorded videos because some of them have messaged about the weak connection. They have messaged me personally about some classes. Okay, let's see those who are present. What is your opinion? Let me know, guys. Then accordingly, we shall wind up. Was it empowering? Did you got some perspective? Did you get some perspective of covering the newspaper, how to do, what to do? And tomorrow we will further get more points. Thank you for the beautiful insights and approach for current affairs. My pleasure, Yatish. Yes, as usual, it is enriching and very empowering as usual. Okay, Shivani. Today's class has really helped. Roshni, okay. Sanjana, it's very helpful. Thank you so much, sir. The idea is not that I'm looking for thank you, but if you have felt empowered and if it is helping you, I'm happy. And the purpose of this workshop has been achieved then. But tomorrow, don't miss to attend the session because tomorrow the real learning will happen, real empowerment will happen through answer writing. Okay. And we will also learn that how to cover the issues in a holistic manner. I got a lot of courage. Suman, oh, is it? Chalo, glad to know that. Thank you very much. It has really enriched us. Very good. Really very useful session, sir. Thank you for the priceless words. Okay, Varsha. And Varsha, I know that tomorrow you are having your working day. So try to attend the session, go through the recorded video and go through the recorded video. Selfprep will tell you how you will get the recorded video. All those who are struggling, you can note down my Telegram ID also so that you can message me personally if you are struggling with any aspect of your preparation. So my Telegram ID is @Telehiman, TELEHIMAN. Shivani, if you want, you can post it as a message in the group. And then we are good to wind up. Okay, guys, take care. Have a beautiful day. Revise well, prepare well. For any doubt, you can reach out to us. Our email ID is reachtheerite@gmail.com. reachtheerite@gmail.com. And Deepak has posted the Telegram ID in the chat box. So make use of it. And once again, I would like to thank Selfprep for organizing this workshop so that it has helped the students and it will help many others in the future. Thank you, Selfprep, for inviting me on this platform. It's my pleasure to every time whenever I discuss anything with the students, it's always very enriching and very satisfying. And thank you everyone for organizing it. For attending it. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. See you all. Bye-bye. We will meet tomorrow at the same time.